That was the word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
When asked my title for my chat today, I didn't come up with something immediately, and I went back through the scriptures and through the Bible and thought about the activities of our daily lives and everything that's affected us. And I decided to entitle it A Journey of Faithfulness. And what you know me, when I'm here, I always challenge you guys to something. So I'm challenging you to faithfulness, to a journey of faithfulness. Many of you have been on that journey for years, your whole life. But I ask that you continue that journey using vision and wisdom and the true word. Faithfulness is a journey. We need to reestablish and reaffirm our faith every day and in all different ways. We have conflicts in our lives that can challenge our faith. We see the world in a bit of a mess, and that's certainly a challenge to faith. But we need to forge on. We need to continue to profess our Christianity, to provide faithfulness for those people who are hurting and are persecuted. We need to be there like we are for each other. This is a phenomenal family of faith right here at Stevensville United Methodist Church. Phenomenal. I can attest to that. I'm going to read you a passage by Linda Knight. It's in the book that God is always by your side. And it has so much importance in what it says. Sometimes life sends us changes that we never contemplated. Problems we just as soon do without. And inconveniences that we'd rather not have to deal with. It can feel as if we are wandering in a barren desert. It's during these desert experiences of our lives that God, in all his faithfulness, opens up his heart. He quenches our thirsty souls. He revives our parched hearts and leads us to a higher place where peace and joy and love will be ours forever. And on all those long journeys, your life leads you on. Please remember, you never walk alone. Isaiah 40, chapter 40, verse 29 and 31, says that it's a renewed strength. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men struggle and fall. But those whose hope is in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow tired. And they will walk and not be faint. God sends each of us a different journey. Not one of us in here is on the same journey. I think our ultimate goal and destination is the same, to arrive in heaven one day and sit at the right hand of God. But all of us are on a different journey. All of us interpret what we see around us, what we hear around us, and what we do around us differently. But I can attest that everybody that I've met here is on the right journey. It's something that you need to reestablish It's a journey of life to understanding and difficult aspects of the world. And it's difficult sometimes to remember who God is. It's a journey that makes us who we are. Who we are. We're all unique. And work at God's art. Like I said, every one of us is individual. None of our DNA is exactly the same. Some of it may be very similar due to genetic, relationships, but none of us are the same. We all respect each other and strive to do God's will. Unique experiences and expressions of faith are due to those events and conditions of our own lives. A book that I've been reading, that I got from the library here, is called A Faithful Heart. And it's really been very simple and explanatory. And I like simple and explanatory. I was mentioning to someone yesterday, when I do a message in worship, I do the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Let's not get too complicated. I recall when I was a child, we had gotten a new pastor, and I forget how many PhDs he had. But when you went to church, you didn't understand anything he had said when you left. And it was frustrating. It was frustrating because you come to church for a reason, because you have concerns, because of your love of the Lord, you come to church. It does not have to be complicated. Sometimes the complication is understanding everything that's happening and what's going forward. Our questions of faith can produce whirling minds unless we allow others to guide us. And that's where we're there for each other. We're there with our pastor. We're there with counselors. When we have moments of downness, we share that because it brings uplifting results. When you know young teenagers who are just having tremendous difficulties, please be there for them. Provide them with comfort and guidance to the right direction. The incidence of suicide and everything among the teenagers in the world is outrageous. It's outrageous. So we need to help identify the suffering that's around us. And we can't do it alone. Like I said, we need to do it as a group. Because doing it alone, you're not going to get a huge product at the end. But doing it as a community of faith, we can make a difference in each and every one of us. Jesus calls us as a community. His commandments, resisting evil and injustice, loving our neighbor as ourselves and our enemies, picking up the cross, and doing hard things like speaking truth is love. Picking up the cross. Jesus died for our sins. He deserves, God deserves to have us continue to pick up the cross and forge ahead to bring love and understanding among the people of the world. Following Jesus can be an adventure, but it requires everything from us. It's not just a hit or miss thing. When you pray, you need to pray solemnly. You need to pray seriously. God hears your prayers. How he answers them may be totally different than what you prayed for, but look for the reason and the outcome of that prayer. Find that. Find that. Following Jesus is is a lifelong adventure. It's one of learning, and it's what it means to be a disciple. Pastor Sarah has been addressing discipleship, and I believe Dean did a lot last Sunday, and striving toward God and doing God's will and taking this adventure is discipleship. We're all disciples. Sometimes it's just opening a door or telling somebody to have a good day or telling them we'll pray for you or just being there for that person is an adventure that God has spelled out for us. The book that I read, His Faithful Heart, has a passage that I wanted to share with you. There's a light inside of you that is brighter than sunshine. There's a hope inside of you that you can get through anything. There's a strength inside of you that is so great that whatever comes your way today, you can face it with heart, courage, and love. This was written by Ashley Rice, and this is in the God is Always by Your Side book. But look at your questions of faith. Attack them. Establish an outcome of what you can be doing as your discipleship and as loving God. So it's just so important. And I can tell you, I cannot imagine how people without faith survive. It's beyond me. Because it's through faith that I'm here today. And I'm forging ahead. And God have mercy on all our souls and uplift us and provide the answers that we have every day. Let us pray. Father, we come before you with so many questions about why the world is like it is, the way it is today. And we asked, what can we do in our journey of faithfulness, of being a good Christian, of being a disciple of God, of forging ahead, and providing comfort for those with grief and those who need will and power. Empower us to be good disciples of Christ. In thy name we pray.